What's good, YouTube fam? It's your boy here, WallaceOnLyfe. It's been a minute. What's good? Today I'm just chilling at the park, just refreshing my mind, taking it in. Oh, look at these birds. Guess they didn't want to hear my story. But I've been just chilling, doing a lot of work lately. Just trying to live, Adulthood isn't easy, but we make it work. Oh, let me just show y'all where exactly I'm chilling. Damn, I can't turn it. That's fine. It's fine. So yeah, I'm just chilling at the park, just refreshing my mind. And I thought I'd just check in with you guys. I hope you guys are good. A lot of crazy things are happening in the world right now, but anything is possible with God. And whenever you feel down and you feel like maybe no one understands what you're going through, you just gotta know that there's always someone going through worse or even less, but there is a God and He's watching over us, And for me, my native name is actually Kudakwashe. Kudakwashe means God's will. And I'm gonna tell you guys a story of, it's like a testimony or whatever you wanna call it. But 2015, I was one of those guys that was deep into hitting the gym and all that kind of stuff, right? But because I was obsessed with gym life, I started taking steroids and all that kind of stuff. And I'd never been to hospital in my life, I'd never been to hospital since the day I was born. And then, so the whole of 2015, I never ever missed a day of gym. Not even once. And I was so fit, I was so full of myself. I felt invincible and all that. And then the beginning of 2016, I felt seriously ill. The first time I did, I told my parents and they came and picked me up from my place. I spent the weekend at home. I felt a bit better. And then I think it was about a week later, I felt seriously ill again. And I couldn't understand what exactly it was. So for me, I think the first thing that came to mind was I think I'm dying. And I went to see doctors at the time, I think up to 5 different doctors. And they ran tests on me, all kinds of tests, right? And yeah, you name it, cancer, HIV, diabetes, all that stuff. And there was nothing that popped up, in the tests. All my tests came back as negative. But my condition just kept deteriorating. So I was okay, what exactly does this mean? It means I'm dying then. If the doctors can't figure out what's wrong with me and everything just seems to be, taking a turn for the worst. So I just gotta start preparing for death. The first thing that I started doing was I'd cough, I'd have, these overnight, especially at night. Yeah, I remember, because when I'd sleep with the windows open, it was bad. I'd wake up with in a cold sweat, my pajamas or whatever I slept in that day would be drenched in sweat. And I went back to the doctors. They tested me for TB and all that. It was nothing. And then I remember that the worst time was I started catching super painful stomach cramps. And it was so bad that at times I couldn't sleep. So I'd go to work tired, and the cramps were just getting worse. I'd go back to the doctors, they test me, they say, dude, there's nothing wrong with you. And I was like, but like I feel it. I feel there's something wrong. And I'm starting to like get worse and worse, you know? And then at that point in time, I realized that like my life is not in my hands. For me to get to where I was in that point in time in life, it wasn't my doing. It was all in God's hands, and He's the one that had to decide whether or not I lived or I died. So now here's what happened. I went the final day that I went to work before I fell seriously ill, because I've been sick for like weeks and weeks and weeks. And after 2 months of being sick and going back and forth with doctors, I found that like it was unbearable now. When I'd eat, I'd just throw up. And then it would be like really bad. I started losing weight. So when I was hitting the gym, I was sitting at like 85 to 90 kgs. My weight dropped down to like 51, 49. I looked like I was dying, like I had like HIV or something. And it just got worse. So I was going to work at the time. I kept going to work. No one knew what I was going through, because I'm not someone that just always like speaks of what I'm going through as a person. But like I was seriously ill, and that Friday I drove myself to hospital. When I got there, the doctor I found, she was a white young doctor. So now I think God was like saying, okay, you've been to all these older men kind of doctors and they can't find what's wrong with you. I want you to smash the stereotype that you have about doctors. Sorry about the wind, man. I hope it's not too bad. But like, yeah, she was the one that picked up like something's not right with me, and she needed to operate immediately. So it turned out my left lung had collapsed, and it was full of like liquid fluid in it. I kid you not. She cut me open, it was like local anesthetic, cut me open just below my heart, in between my rib cage. So, and I was awake, I saw that, and then she stuck a pipe in. I filled like 2 buckets of like 5 liters of some kind of fluid. It was green, you know. And she was like, how you managed to survive and even drive yourself here to this hospital today is beyond me. Because you have a lung infection and it's really bad. And I said, look man, I just knew I had to come here. So after that, I was hospitalized. It was for a month. And in that month, they kept like draining the fluid out of my left lung. And when they felt like, okay, his lung is at a better space in time now, it's healing now, it's no longer collapsed, we can release him, but we'll keep an eye on him. But at this point in time, because I'm high on the painkillers, I didn't feel the pain and the cramps in my stomach. A week after I left hospital, damn, I'm at work again, those cramps start. Rushed to hospital. This time it was like 2 a.m. because it was a Friday and I'd gone home. So my parents had to rush me to hospital with serious stomach cramps. Within the week, they performed the laparotomy. Yes, laparotomy. Opened me up, and yeah, what they found in there was really bad, like stomach scars and all that kind of stuff. The doctors had to think on their feet, and they put what they call a colostomy bag on me. I woke up in the ICU and I had this bag on me, and I'm like, what the hell? I could see my intestines and whatever, and I'm thinking, what is going on? They explained to me, and during this time period, my mom, like, she doesn't cry too much around us, me and my brothers. She doesn't cry that much, but I've seen her cry before. And the time that I was sick until the time I recovered, I've never seen my mom cry. She was strong, she helped me through the toughest time in my life. And tracing back to like the first night after my first surgery, I remember I was in a, sedated state. So the anesthetic hadn't yet worn off, so I was kind of like in and out. But I could hear the doctors telling my mom that it looks bad and he's not gonna make it. And I could feel that, yes, I'm dying. And in that moment, it hit me like people that are gonna die already know when the time comes, if they're sick. They can feel it, like I'm slipping away. And for me, the first thing I needed to do was like pray to God. So I said to him, listen, God, I'm only about 28 or so. Can you please spare me? I don't want to die. And I remember hearing this voice say to me, if you don't want to die, then fight. I'm with you. You've got the options. Live or die. If you choose to live, I'm with you. I will be with you every step of the way. And you just have to fight. Don't give up. And I said, but I'm scared to sleep, because if I sleep, I'm not going to wake up. And he said, no, you'll be fine. If you have faith and you know that I'm by your side, sleep. I'll see you in the morning. I slept because I was so tired and I was cold. Next morning I woke up and I was fine. I slept well. Fine, I was in pain, from the op that I'd had with the colostomy bag, but like the doctors were really shocked. And they told my mom, to this day they tell my mom, like, your boy is a miracle kid, because we did everything we could, but it was looking bleak. We didn't expect him to come out of this alive, And I look back and I realize my life has always been like that. Like, whether I knew it or not, I've been through so many situations where I could have lost my life, but God was there for me. And when you have God by your side, there's nothing that can stop you. Like, there's a lot of like dark forces in this world that I've seen face to face, and I know if you don't have God by your side, you can't beat those things. And it's funny because my brother also, at that same time frame, he also was like super ill. And he had to go through an operation like me too. But he eventually healed quicker than me. For me, the whole of 2016, I was like fighting for my life. Now I'm currently sitting at like 100 kgs. I feel healthier. It's been a journey where in 2023, all the way from 2016, I view life differently now. Like, I know that nothing is within my control in this world. I just have to like make sure me as a person, me as WallaceOnLyfe as a person, does what's right for me and for my creator, my maker, my God. And it's not something that's easy. Like, you're constantly fighting all kinds of demons and stuff. But like the times that you find yourself wanting to like give up, you should know that there is a God, and he's actually like, there by your side. You just need to like trust that his abilities and all that to protect you, to guide you through the toughest of times will help. And that's it. So I'm here today because it was God's will for me to be here today. And it continues to be like that in my life. And I'm grateful that I always have the chance to see like another day. And even when things are not going well for me in my life, I always remind myself, you couldn't be here today if it wasn't for God. And you might feel like things are at the worst in your life right now, but it never is as bad as it seems. There is a God, and he wants you to like just trust that, he's got your back, and you just need to do what you need to do to hold on until whatever it is that's going on in your life comes to pass. I used to also be suicidal. I used to be depressed and all that. But I deal with life way better now, And I understand that like life isn't easy and all that. But who said being a Christian or being someone that follows God was meant to be easy. Nothing in life that's worth having comes easy. You always have to fight. I love it when people don't believe in me as a person or my abilities, and it's because of many of the experiences I've dealt with in my life. Like, so when people try and put me down or try and make it seem like I'm not good enough, I don't take their crap. I'm good enough for God. I'm good enough for me. That's all that matters. And I make it a habit to always do things that people think I'm not capable of doing. I always exceed their expectations, and I'm not doing it for them. I'm doing it for me, because God put me on this earth to have a purpose, and that purpose will have to be fulfilled. God's will, you know. But like, yeah, that's a bit of what I went through, and I continue to go through in my life. Like, there's so many situations where if I go quiet on YouTube, I'm dealing with a lot, and I'm just trying to make it work like the rest of you. But we keep pushing and we stay strong, you know. And on that note, I'll catch you on the flip side. Peace.